I am here today with a special guest, prominent economist, Lakshman Achuthan. He has some good news for us. His firm tracks business cycles, been doing it for decades, and has some good news for us to share.
Yeah, well, the big news is that after crunching all the numbers, looking at a lot of data, our longest leading indicators, they are very clearly telling us that there is no new recession imminent. And that is big news because there's been so much fear about a double-dip recession. And these long-leading indicators, credit and inventories and even labor market indicators, even though the market is that bad, we're able to see patterns in the way that these leading indicators collectively are tracking. And what we see is that they're tracking not a recessionary path, but a path of a so-called soft landing. It's where the economy's slowing, but it doesn't get caught in the recessionary spiral. So we don't go back to the kind of thing that we had in 2008, for example.
That's obviously, I think, very reassuring to many of our viewers. 2008 and early 2009 was an extremely scary time, but I think, though, it's worth pointing out that for a lot of people out there, even though we may not be at risk of going into a double-dip recession, the economy is still hardly robust. So what are some of the more disappointing trends that you're seeing in the economy? Even though it's not a recession, it's clearly not a huge great recovery.
Right. So really important good news is no new recession, because recession brings with it just a whole host of bad things. The not so good news is that we don't see a clear sign of a reacceleration or an upturn. Okay, so that means that the slowdown that we've all been kind of wary about for a little while now is going to continue well into next year, probably through the first half of next year.
Right. So stagnant growth.
Kind of more of what you've been seeing.
Not much improvement in the labor market. Improvement, but nothing to write home about.
Exactly, and hardly enough to make a dent in terms of what was lost. So I wouldn't suggest that you're going to wake up as a result tomorrow of this announcement that there's no recession imminent and say, wow, the economy feels great. But we're going to slowly continue to heal. It's not going to be fast enough. It's going to be disappointing. A good way of thinking about it is, when the recession ends, the economy essentially makes it into the recovery room. Right. What we're saying today is we're not going back in the operating room, okay? We're staying in the